Hi, this is Allie from Allie Cats Crafts. I'm here to show you another card tutorial. This is the card that we'll be making. And that's the inside. This is what the envelope's going to look like. Very easy, very fun. The things that I will be using today are my orange diamond dots. I will be using Timid Tiger and Secret Sea ink. Needing a blender brush today. Timid Tiger marker. My scissors. And I'll be using the stamps from Full of Charm. Because we're actually, sorry, I forgot to say it. We are doing the Full of Charm June 2025 paper pumpkin kit. And this is, when I do alterations, I use bits and pieces from it, as opposed to the whole thing. I'll also be using Charming Day and die cutting this flower out. I'll be die cutting it twice, and I'll show you in a minute. Okay? And I'm going to be using the envelope. So in my other tutorials, I took an envelope, and I'll bring one out for you. And I cut it on the sides, and I opened it up, and I took this piece. That's what I used for my card, and I'll show you. So what you're going to need is one flower with a little pearl in the middle, and I punched that with my Petal Park stamp punch. Okay, you will also need orange and green die cut from the Charming Day stamp and dies. You'll need two leaves cut from them in Mossy Meadows. Oh, by the way, that's Mossy Meadow. Stamp the image, the sentiment, Celebrate You, and two pieces of orange paper glued together to bump up that sentiment. The envelope, I cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4. And what I did was I took and I cut it out thing, and then I cut it little by little on each side till I got it. So these are very close to each other. So it looks really nice when it's done, okay? You'll need your orange paper, which is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and your card base 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored and folded in half. So the first thing I would do, well, I will do actually, is I'll get my scratch paper out, which I've been working on, and I will get this, and I will be using this stamp, the little dots, and that one. So I'll get my Timid Tiger ink out, and here's the measurements. If you want to take a picture or write it down, it's up to you. And I will take and I will speckle this to give it a little bit of depth. Gives it a little bit more on the card, which I like. It's almost like embossing, but you're not. So that's what you'll have. Great stamp. I know some of the stamps nowadays have that. That's an older one. So look it up. You'll be very pleased. So I'm going to take this and I will glue the envelope piece to the front of that orange paper. And I really am not sure what color it is. I just kind of took it out of my stash. I don't think it's Stampin' Up, and I'm really sorry. But I do have a lot of their stuff. Thank you, Lori, by the way. She's the one that donated a whole bunch of paper for me, too. But every once in a while, I buy it when I really, really want it. But I have so much paper because I've been a crafter for a long time. And I just got into Stampin' Up a few years ago. So I don't have all of their colors. So I slowly am buying everything so that I have everything that I need. That did not go on straight. And it gotta get a little closer. There's only a tiny edge that's allowed. See? just a little bit. Press it down real good. See the little tiny edge? So that's all you're going for. So the next thing you're going to do, and I'm not going to forget it this time because I keep forgetting, I'm going to take and put this ribbon down. So I take a piece of tear tape and I'll put it on the back there, and one right there. Before we glue it down, I want to make sure that I have the ribbon in place. Sometimes I forget to do that. Then I have to cut it kind of short, like in the last video if you watched it. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to line it up so it's pretty even. You want it close to the bottom, and I'll bring it around so that tear and tape will catch it and hold it in place. And do the best you can to do it even. If you don't feel confident enough, you could always measure it out, like right here. You could tell it was like 2 centimeters. And if you go over here, 2 centimeters. I got it perfect. I can't believe that. Sometimes I don't. But it's okay if you don't get it totally perfect, because it's a handmade card, you know? You can only do so much, and you do the best you can. You don't, it's not like you're not doing the best you can. I don't think. I mean, I'm not. But it's really up to you. So I'm just going along, put my glue on here, and the tear and tape will keep it in its spot. And then I'll look at it really close, make sure I get it, because it is a tight fit on this. I did it like 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So I move it around, and there. So some of you are asking, how do I do my bows? It's perfect, right? Well, not totally perfect, I think it is. But I think it's easy because I've done it for many years. I just do a simple bow. And I bring it in through the bottom. And then the key is to take and keep moving the ends. And you get a good bow every time. But I didn't do it overnight. It took a lot of practice. So then I take and trim my ends so they look nice. I don't like how that one looks. I make sure it's the way I want it. See? Nice bow. So then I grab my little dots and I put one down. And I'm thinking I should put one right up underneath it too, because that ribbon seems to be moving around. So how you do that after you've done it is you take and put your dot on your little taker pick or whatever you have. You can put it on the end of your scissors if you don't have that. You stick it in there and press it down. Then you can pull that up, the top, and lay your bow there. And it looks like it was actually tied around the bow, around the ribbon there, but it's not. See? Pretty easy. So now we're going to do our flowers how we want them. So I cut it just like this so that there's no coloring and you can do anything you want. Now remember, you can do these any color that you want. So what I want to do is I'm going to trim this out. So I want to cut these leaves off. We won't need these. I'm going to cut these leaves off. So you won't need those. And then you're going to cut these leaves off. Meanwhile, you want to make your flower stay nice. So kind of keep that in mind as you're doing that. Okay. Now you have a choice. You can keep these flowers or not. On my first card, I did. And what I did was, I took my Timid Tiger. I get the right end going. And I colored them so they appear a little darker. That wonderful marker that Lori gave me. Thank you again, Lori. And I just take and color those little flowers. See? So it gives them a little bit darker. It's tone on tone, so it gives a little bit of extra oomph. So there you go. So now what I'm going to do is they're going to lay them right over the top and glue them down. So I'm going to put some glue on it. Just glue all the little edges. Okay. Then I will take the flower and I will line it up and pick it up to make sure it's nice and even. Just kind of look at it and it looks good, and I start pressing it into place. You have a little bit of wiggle room using that glue. Okay. So there it is, it's done. Okay. So I'm gonna bring my card back in here. So now I want to figure out how I want it. So I'm kinda, oh wait, I need to trim off this flower, I almost forgot. See that little flower on the greenery? Now, if I wanted to, I could take the flower off of here and I could have went over the top of that, but I didn't want to. Okay, so now you'll get your dimensionals. And you're going to, yeah, I think I'll just cut these in half. Put it on the back of your flower in certain spots. Like I want one right there. Because you want it to be popped up. So you have to do quite a few of the leaves so it'll stay popped up. So that's why I cut my dimensionals. And I still have ink for my last card. I always have ink on my hands. So I just kind of go along. Some people, they don't like to do every leaf, but I feel like I need to because I like the idea. Yeah, I could have used my minis. That would have been better. Silly me. There we go. So I'm going along with my little minis now. Oops, that one got off. That one will be okay right there. And I think I have more than enough there. Let's put one right here on this one. There's so many on here. I think it's time to use the taker pick to get them off. Stab it in there, they come off pretty easy. Can't have too many get stacked on there, that's the problem, is it stops working. Because you can't stab through them all. And it sticks to your fingers. That's okay though. One more. Okay. So now I'll lay this down the way I want it. And I think I want it about right. I like having it so it's just kind of going a little bit over there. Over the, see how it went over a tiny bit? Press it down. And we have our extra little pieces of greenery. And we'll lay them flat. Put it right up under that one, that flower. Press it down. And we have another piece of greenery. And we'll put glue on that one. And I'll stick it right over here up under that one so it's sticking out. Okay. And then I have this cute little yellow flower that I did at the Petal Park. And I'll stick that right up there. Okay. Then I'm going to fussy cut this out. So remember, you just take and you move the paper, not the scissors. I like to do fussy cutting. It's relaxing. A lot of times I'll do it right in front of the TV while my husband watching his shows. He watches a lot of car shows because he's a retired mechanic. And he watches a lot of documentaries. Oh, so many documentaries. And he loves them. So I'll sit there and I want to be with him, but I don't necessarily want to watch them. I end up stopping what I'm doing to watch them. So now I glue it on top of my 2 layers of paper, and I'll fussy cut around that to make a cute little border. It's a little thicker because it's like 2 layers I'm going through now. But it bumps it up a tiny bit. And before I started using dimensionals, that's how I got everything dimensionalized. That put 3 or 4 pieces of paper on the back. I know one day I went to do cards with the seniors, and I forgot my dimensionals. And we had fussy cut a bunch of stuff out, and I said, well, we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. And they're going, old-fashioned? I said, yep. And they go, what do we do? And I said, see those pieces of paper you have right there? And I showed them, I go, you're going to cut up in little pieces like this. Then you're going to take those pieces and you're going to glue them together. So eventually, it'll get fatter and fatter, and that's your dimensional. And they're going, oh, well, they had a lot of things to dimensionalize. They're going, we don't want to do that again, Allie. Please don't forget those dimensionals. So then I took and I brought a Ziploc baggie with a whole bunch in it so that they'd have them, so that wouldn't happen again. So if you notice, this one has like a slight orange color around it. So what I did was I took the remainder of my Tim & Tiger and I went over the top of this to tone down the white so it's not quite as white. Kind of like how I did the dots. So I took and I glued this down flat because it's been bumped up a tiny bit. And I will put it right about there, make sure it's nice and even. Push it down. Okay, and then the last little thing is to put my diamond dots on. So I'll dump some out and lay my glue down where I want. And I think I'll go right there and there and there. I think, you know what? I think I want more than 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I kind of felt like I wanted to do a few more. Close up my glue. And wait for them to dry for a second. And then I'll get my taker pick out. And I'll start laying them on there. And they stick nicely. I love it. I found that out by mistake one day. I realized, why haven't I done this before? It always gets sticky after a few minutes. Why have I waited so long to do that? I don't know. It just happened. These dots have like static in it, so it kind of works out really good to pick it up with your finger. There you go. So the card is done. See how cute that turned out? Not very hard and fun. So let's decorate the inside. I really like the Tim & Tiger. I'm not a big orange person, but I'm starting to actually like it a lot. Which has been kind of weird, but it looks really pretty on the cards. Stamp off and stamp on. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I think I'll just go up the side. There we go. I like that. Oops. Let's get that a little bit more there. So there you go. So that's the card, and it turned out really good. And here's the envelope, which I did not get one, so I'll do one off camera so you can see how I did that. And so here's the two cards. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun making it, but I forgot one more thing. I have to go back in. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I have to get my Wink Estelle out. And thanks to my friend Lori, I have a new one. So you gotta take out that little piece right there, this little black thing, to get it to work, and then you get it started. So I'm gonna get it started. It's gonna get all charged up, kind of shake it. Okay, oops, it's coming out really fast. I pushed too hard. That's okay. It'll calm down. So now I can rub it on my flowers to make them sparkly. Oh, I love Wink Estelle. It's so beautiful. So Lori sent me some Wink Estelle, and so I love Wink Estelle, and I always forget to use it. And my other one was almost completely empty, so I was very excited when she says, I'll send you some. So she sent me gold, silver, and black. She also sent me this piggy stamp set. Let me find it. It's right over here. And a friend of mine, Allie's Creations, she's been doing piggy stamps. Oh, you have to go to her YouTube channel and subscribe. She has some really good ideas, and I copy some of her stuff because I really like it. But I don't redo her videos because I just feel like that's not cool. But I might, never know, because they're beautiful. I need to share them and tell them who did it. But she took and she used the black Wink Estelle on the piggy foot. So I made one, and I'll be doing a tutorial. And look at how cute they are. Look at her. And I put a little ribbon. Allie did for her grandson, and some of their friends did these little piggies on a stick. And I had to copy her. It just is so cute. And look at the back. It's just the cutest thing. So we went to the zoo, and she took her kids to the zoo. And I knew we go to the zoo like once every couple of weeks because we have a season pass. So my daughter's friend went and brought her 4 children. So I made a whole bunch of piggies on a stick with the ribbons, and they had a piggy party just like Allie did for Allie's Creations. Oh, they loved it. So thank you, Lori. She sent me the piggy thing and this Wink Estelle. So the next ones I'm going to do, I'm going to use the black ones for their little hoofs. So thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.